So here we are at Wendy Boxer's house in West Cumbria. It's a 5-bedroom farmhouse and she's got a batch log boiler for heating her house. So it's a boiler that works at high efficiency, taking a batch of logs, burning them through, storing all the heat in accumulators and then passing the heat around the house through a normal radiator system. She's got 17 radiators on this system here and it's a 40 kilowatt Eco Angus boiler. So it's really important that these logs are properly dried, 25% or less, otherwise we're just wasting fuel, sending it up the chimney, lots of emissions and particulates, and it will damage the boiler and cause flue damage. So the boiler owners here have their own 8 acres of woodland which they're bringing back into management. So there's a thinning program going on. They have to take out some of the trees for the health of the wood. These have to be cut and split and stored in this barn. There's roughly 10 to 15 tonnes of timber here, which is enough for 1 year roughly. So you have to have 1 year's store in here and then perhaps another year in another barn drying, ready for the year after. So Wendy has her own log splitter here, which takes some of the manual work out of the job. If you're having to cut 10 or 15 tonnes of wood every year for what might be the next 20 years, then to get some mechanisation into the job is perhaps a really good idea. So this boiler is a highly efficient gasification boiler. It burns the wood at high temperature and it also burns the gases given off. This makes them over 90% efficient at turning wood into heat.
This is about how much wood burning logs we would use in approximately a week, allowing a burn a day. It's 6 wheelbarrow fulls and it's about 1 wheelbarrow per burn.
So it's a batch log boiler, has to be loaded and lit every day in winter, and it burns through the bats of logs. Combustion is controlled by the computer on top of the boiler here. The hot water generated is pumped to a heat store or accumulator. This is an oval accumulator designed so it would fit through the door into the barn here. The heat from the accumulator is then drawn off on demand to your normal standard central heating controllers. As for maintenance, you have to rake the ash out maybe once a week and clean and scrape the soot and tar off the heat exchangers once a month. You'll need to get it serviced once a year, same as you would any oil or gas boiler. So what's it been like to live with your boiler now that you've had it for a year or so?
Absolutely brilliant. Really love it. It's very efficient, does what it's supposed to do. It's easy to maintain. I can do it, which makes life great because Sam's away a lot. So yeah, I'm really tough with it.
So do you ever have to use your oil boiler now?
I've turned it on once in a blue moon, emergency, I'm home late, haven't lit it up, someone's come in, I need heat, whatever, just occasionally.
So if anybody else came to you for advice, what would you say about having a batch log boiler?
Yeah, go for it. It takes time to do the lumberjacking bit. And you need some storage room to store your wood, but it's a good team effort. We work together, you do it, and it's easy to maintain.
All of that log cutting and splitting.
No, it's quite nice to do. Sam do the chainsaw, I do the splitting, and you get time together as well. Which doesn't always happen. So, but yeah, no, it's been brilliant. I really love it.
That's good.
Oh.
So in conclusion, you could say there are barriers. You need to have the space for all this boiler and equipment. You need to have the space for all the log storage. And you need to be able to do that physical work. And it might be for 20 years. And you've got those high upfront costs to get over. This boiler and system cost £13,000. If you do want to go for the renewable heat incentive, then you'll get a payback on that really quickly. Even without it, this boiler is going to pay for itself in about 5 years. But if you can get over that, then really it's a win-win-win, especially if you do own your own woodland, because you're bringing it back into management. You've got free fuel at a known cost, secure supply for the future, and you don't have to buy that expensive oil stuff anymore.